Quite often I hear people say it's not about what we do because God looks at the heart. While we know this is true to a certain extent, are our actions somehow separate from our hearts, or do they reflect what's in our hearts? Not sure what I mean? Then let's explore this idea together in this week's 5 Minute Torah. Welcome back, Torah Tribe. You're watching the channel that connects disciples of Yeshua to the eternal Torah of God. It's great to have you with us here today. This week's Torah portion is the portion of etchanan, Deuteronomy 3:23 through 7:11, and here are the three things that you need to know about it. Number one, Moses pleas to enter the land. The portion of etchanan begins with Moses' fervent plea to God to allow him to enter the promised land. Moses recounts his plea, which occurred after God had informed him that he would not be allowed to enter the land due to an earlier incident at the waters of Meribah. This section emphasizes Moses' deep desire to enter the land and his unwavering dedication to the Israelites, despite knowing he will personally not experience the fulfillment of God's promise. Number two, the Ten Commandments and the Shema. Etchanan includes a restatement of the Ten Commandments given to the Israelites at Mount Sinai. Moses reminds the people of these fundamental laws, which are the foundation of their covenant with God. Additionally, the portion includes the recitation of the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4 through 9, the central prayer affirming the oneness and sovereignty of God. The Shema is the core declaration of faith in Judaism and holds significant importance in Jewish liturgy and daily life. Number three, the reminder of God's covenant. Throughout the portion, Moses reminds the Israelites of their unique relationship with God, the covenant made at Mount Sinai, and the commandments they are to follow. He cautions them against idolatry, reminding them of the consequences of turning away from God and worshiping other deities. The children of Israel are called to remember God's miracles, His teachings, and His commandments, urging them to observe and teach these principles to future generations. He emphasizes the importance of obedience to God's laws and the consequences of straying from His commandments. The 5 Minute Torah is an indispensable resource that every disciple of Yeshua should proudly own. Within its pages lies a treasure trove of condensed wisdom, carefully curated to fit into the busy lives of modern seekers. With insightful and concise teachings, this book transforms the often daunting task of Torah study into an accessible and enriching experience. You can pick up your copy using the link in the description box below this video. Your purchases help support the continued development of new videos for this channel. Thank you in advance. This week's Torah commentary is called No Religious Discounts and comes from my book, 5 Minute Torah, Volume 2. I don't know about you, but I'm a bargain shopper. I love to find the discounts wherever I can. It can be a fun challenge, and every penny we save in our large family adds up. But some people are much more serious bargain shoppers than I am. They don't buy anything without a discount, and if they can't find the discount they are looking for, they'll haggle with the merchant until they can get the item marked down to some degree or another. And while that level of tenacity can be appreciated in some ways when it comes to shopping, when we try to apply this instinct to religious practice, it can actually work against us. Not sure what I'm talking about? Let me explain. You may not know it, but deep down within us, we are all bargain shoppers and hagglers when it comes to religious expression, and we need to be aware of it so that we can avoid falling into this trap. For instance, if we don't feel like praying one day, we may try to bargain our way out of it. We begin rationalizing with ourselves, saying, "My prayer time yesterday was really good. It won't be so bad if I miss today." Or maybe it's finding a congregation. Their services are too long, or I don't like all that Hebrew, or that person annoys me. Maybe it's observing the appointed times. The Sabbath is the only time I have to get things done. Maybe it's kosher. God looks on the heart, not on the stomach. Our culture isn't conducive to separating meat and dairy. Whatever the case may be, we're quick to try and get our spiritual benefits at a discount. But Hashem doesn't offer discounts when it comes to obedience. In this week's Torah portion, we read about the need to pass down faithful observance of the Torah to subsequent generations and what the Lord expects from a people He has redeemed from slavery. When your son asks you in time to come, what is the meaning of the testimonies and the statutes and the rules that the Lord our God has commanded you? Then you shall say to your son, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord showed signs and wonders, great and grievous, against Egypt and against Pharaoh and all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from there that he might bring us in and give us the land that he swore to give to our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as we are this day. And it will be righteousness for us if we are careful to do all this commandment before the Lord our God as he commanded us. Deuteronomy 6:20-25. The Lord concludes this section by commanding the children of Israel to pass down his commandments to their children and grandchildren and remind them that their faithfulness to the details of these commandments will be reckoned to them as righteousness. He says that they are to tell their children, and it will be righteousness for us if we are careful to do all this commandment before the Lord our God as he has commanded us. Just a few verses previously, he reminds them that they are not only to keep the commandments, but they are to keep them diligently. You shall not put the Lord your God to the test as you tested him at Massah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God and his testimonies and his statutes, which he has commanded you. Deuteronomy 6:16-17. The cost of Hashem's mitzvot are premium because they aren't cheap imitations. They are handcrafted and tailored for us by the master craftsman. We can't try to haggle for discounts and expect the blessings that come with them. But if we pay the premium price for them, we will receive their maximum dividends. When we give our all, even when we don't meet our own expectations, it's a beautiful thing in his eyes, and he rewards us for it. Rather than looking for a bargain or even a loophole when it comes to spiritual service, we should be looking to pay retail and maybe even adding a tip. Thanks for joining me each week for these 5-minute Torah insights. If you like books and want to better understand Yeshua or Paul or maybe even the Hebrew language, then you'll want to be sure and check out my latest 5 Books That Changed My Life video right here. Also, if you want to help me grow this channel so that more people can experience great Messianic teachings, then please do me a favor, like this video and share this video. I'll see you soon with another Messianic insight into the eternal Torah of God. Blessings from Minute Torah.